Hello, folks. Well, this is Miguel from the Embargo Man channel, right? What is it with this debate? So, what's going on? As of what I have heard, and then I have noticed somebody, YouTuber nowadays, talking about this, and everybody have done the most dumbest and stupid thing that I believe everybody was, rolling off the, yes, going on the road and everything like that. It is the stupidest thing. I know that criticizing Asian people is one thing I've heard of, but criticizing something that is done by Asian people, most likely Chinese, criticizing somebody like in the poorest country of the Americas. All right, so this is going on, this craziness, and I have just felt that this is going on through. And what I have made a short of Seattle surpassing South Korea as the suicide capital of the world is, let me tell you one thing. Each one has a part that in this country that anybody could succeed. Yes, they could succeed. Anybody is a part. It is like, let me tell you this. If you look in the point of view, each one, anybody has made this country great. Why? It is something that you notice it is like saying, like, who did make the railroads? They were calling on Chinese immigrants. Did they ever have memes? We didn't have the internet back in the day, or make this all this stupid things about, oh, the Chinese people eating cats and dogs, or some other idiot back in the day. What it is with this problem, and what with politicians could be to be made up some stupid words to identify and target people. All right, it's just an example of all things hitting in between. All these CEOs of these companies, to put it in this way, I just remember I took off a short because some people might wrongly interpretate me. What they gonna do? They were like, there were, once they see this, they gonna or they gonna see this, they misinterpret to people. They were about to kick my ass, with my stepbrother helping out. His name was Felwell, right? Like, when they saw this, they're gonna kick my ass. All right, certain group of people will kick my ass. All right, so the story, to make it all of this, all to compete, this is nothing new. It is like easy target than any idiot CEO would deserve to have justice served. Having justice served in some critical thing, for example, the aviation industry. What if Muhlenberg, after Calhoun, before Calhoun, you have Muhlenberg? What if Muhlenberg, Dennis Muhlenberg, one of the former Boeing CEOs, were to be black? In that case, with this incident of the two Boeing 737 MAX crashes, this is where it goes. Here we pled guilty. They were banned the planes right from the start just because the CEO was black. And what they gonna do? This is during, who administration? They're gonna put him directly in jail. They're gonna treat him like how Carlos Ghosn has been treated in Japan. But instead of that, they're gonna put him in a prison in the Fed bin. If Dennis Muhlenberg were to be black. And that's how things go like this. You know, you are not alone. If you want to make things right, some of you people, being a CEO of a car company, look at Carlos Ghosn, you know, here in the United States of America, you are filling the shoes of Carlos Ghosn. If you are once in the future, you plan to be the CEO of General Motors, the CEO of the Ford Motor Company. Some of you plan to think ahead and you want to change things right for an auto company. You, my friend, you gonna step in the shoes of Carlos Ghosn as to what have happened. I mean, this is what is to say with Carlos Ghosn taking his job as General Motors as a black man. That will go, what happened to him has happened to him. The same situation when he was CEO of Nissan in Japan. So all this BS accusations happen to Carlos Ghosn. It will happen to Carlos Ghosn as a black man in the United States of America when he is CEO of General Motors. And that's how Japan works in this kind of way. He wasn't even black, but like being the CEO of Nissan, trying to fix Nissan and fix things for Nissan. It is similar, like if Carlos Ghosn were to be a black man and guide General Motors into the right direction. It's the same thing, right? It's just very similarities. All right, this is what it is. Even Rebecca Alzor, I was subscribed to her and something like that, and she had a point of view on this. I have saying that the point of view is what it is. The main reason as Vance, as running mate, will mention Renton. I say the name of flying coffin experts is saying that the good workers are going to be in trouble. Vance is going to say some stupid, idiotic name. And this is just one party kissing ass to somebody who is very ignorant, who is wanting to do the same thing, making lives for other people miserable. And besides eating the cats and dog thing, I already find out it's kind of stupid. It is kind of stupid. It is like saying, okay, look at this, all right? Look, just put it that way. Just put it in this perspectives. World War II. World War II. What if you were an Asian person in World War II? You're gonna like feel the same groove, the bad vibes during World War II, the bad vibes going against Japanese people. And this is just going against Japanese people. And put it this way of this fault, now from Japanese people, from back in World War II, from Asian people in World War II, now to Haitian people in World War II. Haitian people nowadays getting criticized. And whatever you think about eating cats and dogs, oh wait, that's total BS. And people following along this kind of stupidity going viral. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets of the people that live there is kind of BS, right? What it is about this, if if Ortberg, if Kelly Ortberg were to not to bow down to this, executive clowns. Yes, these corporate clowns, these executives, these big people at corporate, just to handling things. And this is a long story of issues with the company. Why in the world would people were? I believe if Kelly Ortberg were doing the right thing, he might become the next Carlos Ghosn. Yes, the next Carlos Ghosn. In some way with the situation that's happening right now. Kelly Ortberg. He would be filling out the same shoes as what have happened with Carlos Ghosn back in Japan. When Carlos Ghosn in Japan did this thing to fix things, it was him. It was him that fixed around not just Reno in France, but how to settle things in Japan as Nissan. This man, Carlos Ghosn, has felt like a black guy being CEO at General Motors here in America. That's how Carlos Ghosn felt. So they ship him in a music box. They ship Carlos Ghosn to Lebanon. Kelly Ortberg might be in danger of, as Carlos Ghosn. But it's not him. It's going to be the workers who is going to work. The plan is with all this stuff. All the nonsense that they talk about certain group of people, all the BS tackling, it is to defend themselves. It is people on their defense, allies of certain group of people. Being allies of people, the allies. In order to say you don't have to be Asian to defend Asian people, or you don't have to be black to defend black people. So this has gone too. With this guy, John Barnett and Joshua Dean. All right, John Barnett and Joshua Dean. Joshua Dean was, I believe he was given fentanyl. They poisoned him with fentanyl or something. They poisoned him. All right, in the hospital. They said that he died of a disease. John Barnett was murdered. And I did a bunch of videos. He's not just talking about competition from Japanese companies trying to protect Boeing. He is also doing something, Joshua Dean and John Barnett, he's trying to do something in protecting some people using as pawns executives at Boeing, using them as pawns. The big people in the top. All the way to say that, it could be totally different. Maybe you've been watching it that it was all white folks, all right, and maybe they rehire the people that fired Boeing. But yes, this is what it is for the document. If they were made a documentary about Joshua Dean or about John Barnett, it's gonna be a black person that's gonna do it. But that's where it goes. I think he was targeting of all the quality controls of what have happened in Boeing. Of what have happened in Boeing is that they have safety issues with the 787, 737, and all in between. This kind of mess has been talking about, have been silence of the others. the thing that I believe now, besides competition from the Chinese, competition from Honda, or he was trying to defend Boeing for better. I mean, not defending Boeing, going against the corporate, or what it is of this, toxic corporate culture that is going on. And there's a secret of hidden discrimination, hidden racial discrimination, and using these people being involved on the flaws of Boeing products. And then to his defense, whistleblowing. But when he mentioned of Joshua Dean was poisoned, John Barnett was murdered. The thing about the suicide, John Barnett committing suicide is bullshit. It is total bullshit. Why it's bullshit? Because what's have happened is that John Barnett is defending black employees that got fired at Boeing, that they are going to be blamed for the flaws at Boeing. Yes, quality. He was a quality inspector agent in North Charleston, South Carolina, right? I mean, it's like this and his buddies and everything. Joshua Dean also, and what they are like allies of black folks. What happened with these allies of black folks? They got murdered. I mean, this is like Boeing corporate governance is were to be in that time functioning like Nazi Germany. All right, it was functioning like Nazi Germany. The Jewish people at Boeing are the black folks. That's how this have been in control, just to do this kind of stuff. Hitler has done a dirtiest work in that era, but now it is Boeing, and they blame, and their main plan is to blame it on black people, even though they haven't even fired probably some Asian people too. I mean, Asian people are very hard at work too, and they have one of them to have the main force of getting this country together and how it has been successful. But just going backwards and going to blame others, and we have going this far away of the corporation acting like it is. Calhoun. John Calhoun tried to fix things, but then I don't know what it is, but just saying if somebody has to be bent over by the corporate, by the big top, for the people on top, the top dogs, he was trying to fix things. But if he bends over, this is what's going to happen. What's going to happen is this: they're going to fire some people. I mean, the union's supposed to protect the workers. When they're supposed to protect the workers in all of IAM, International Association of Mechanics and Aerospace and something like that, this is where I could say where it is. Do you want to keep a failing plant open? One of the biggest. It was just at the time when McDonnell Douglas took things over, and they just focused in with the merger. And I see this from this. I mean, this documentary on Netflix, Downfall. Yes, it's probably in there, but yes, I saw how this dirty work, just the first phases of its dirty work. There's other things behind closed doors of that company, right? And then let's start with the strikes. These strikes is like this. They either is, I have seen videos. All these workers would be, you are protecting, drug addicts. Are you protecting, crackheads, alcoholics? All right, you go in there, and what kind of work is that? You can't go to work after having a bottle of Jack Daniels, and then you freaking make a damn plane. You make the damn plane drunk, drunk, and then here's IAM or IAB, International Association of Bums. Yes, International Association of Bums. All right, I'm gonna show what I did in this. I mean, I'm gonna just want to show what I did in this scenario, and what it is, and I want to tell you the difference, what would happen if things could change. All right. Well, the things about unions and all that stuff is the union supposed to be protect the workers from getting fired. I mean, union leaders don't see behind it. Before it was just like that. Why not the unions in Japan, in Germany? Yeah, and probably even South Korea or something like. Yes, most likely Japan and Germany will put an example. They focus on what they're doing, protect the workers. But once at all, what it is, what is the focus of the company is, they don't want to see somebody going drunk at the workplace. Putting some tool, putting some, putting a door, a door that you make sure it's tight. It's tight to every nut. All right. But what they do, they were just putting a soap, dishwashing detergent, and then they just want to having the guy that put the door in the Alaskan plane, the Alaskan flight, he was just finish up all his Jack Daniels, a bottle of Jack Daniels or before he come into work, getting in the job hammered in Renton, Washington, and then those people want to say, hey, they want to freaking a wage rage. And this is the reason why some companies were avoiding in the United States. Germany, Japan, and some other countries don't mess around with this kind of garbage. It's only in this country. Only in America, just like Don King said, all right? What it is this, that what it is, and this is Ortberg doing the right thing. What it is about this, they're gonna go ahead and get the unions going on strike. They're gonna go smoke some weed. They're gonna go have some beer, and what else? And then go drunk. And after that, they all being so drunk as hell. Yes, drunk as hell. And they want to do the work. They want to say they want to make quality. How are you gonna make a quality product if you go hammered at work? Yes, you're gonna go hammered. You're gonna go drunk. You're gonna go high on drugs or whatever. How in the world? All you get is a crappy product. What it is with this unions, and what it is with this unions not functioning like the way it is, and the reason, maybe they might even fire people in the South Carolina plant, even though South Carolina is non-union. And why the reason why Airbus in the picture has been building quality products in Mobile, Alabama. If it's good for the economy, you cannot just expect the economy of Washington to have improved their economy, having protection of bums, and trying, and then the bums going out on strike, and while the people right there, the hardworking people in Mobile, Alabama, is doing the right thing for Mobile, Alabama. Why? It's because they don't want to pay attention to the work what they're doing. I mean, this guy was trying to do is to, let me tell you what, I mean, some of you guys that you have mentioned, I'm sorry why nobody buys your planes, because your work sucks, you don't deserve it. And I mean, I don't care if the union try to pat you in the back, but you guys don't deserve those jobs. I think going to another state where to hire people really qualified for these jobs. I don't care if some of you were drunk. I mean, you were drunken right now. I mean, what the heck you gonna do? Your last bottle of liquor? I mean, what in the world you doing, all right? I mean, I'm not just like going to a strip joint in Seattle, Washington, or what? I mean, you go in a freaking Seattle bar, and that's what the hell you do. You're gonna talk trash and all of this and whatever, and you're gonna talk about pay raise. You're gonna talk about pay raise. I mean, the main thing, if the right thing has been done at Boeing, the main thing that Ortberg will do is give them the middle finger. Why? Is because the opportunity of this, having the base of Boeing's headquarters back to Seattle, I mean, why in the world you have to have a home base in Seattle when the workers that work in that factory is garbage? I mean, to have closer to the plant, I mean, Boeing would be better fit having their headquarters in Columbus, Ohio, than Seattle, Washington, or Cincinnati than Seattle, Washington. And let me tell you why is this reason, all right? Look, the reason why is this is harsh for a CEO trying to do this in all this political heat. What is going on? This political heat, what is going on is that people were bragging of all this. Look, I am not saying this. There's good and bad people from all countries, all right? I mean, look at the stance of what has going on. I mean, we didn't get to be so aware of things. We have been not such aware that a damn bug could, could freaking outsell American-made automobiles, or that the Japanese companies would do the same thing. Why? We have to let this happen? Why? Because the companies were to hire, besides the good workers, they were trying to even and begin to go and slack off laziness, going drunk at the job, and making poor quality products. So the Europeans, the Japanese, and the Koreans have been sit along making a better quality product. And guess what? We didn't see anything. That was going on. And then, what the hell was going on, man? I mean, why the hell does an individual choose a Mercedes-Benz over a Cadillac? Right? And why the hell? What the hell, man? Let me tell you for the number one reason why this is going on with all this crap, right? Is because products coming from Europe, products coming from Japan, has came out with a superior quality product than the junk that the people who are hammered in the workplace get out. And this is what is happening to Boeing, all right? So for a reason why Asian people are very so hardworking at their work, and this is what the reason, believe me, let me tell you that if the Chinese EV cars or anything from China comes into this country, China will kick our asses. That's the truth. China will kick our asses. Japan has already kicked our asses. Germany has already kicked our asses. Just imagine this. Just imagine this, all right? Even Airbus is kicking our asses. And what would these foreign corporations do not just to avoid tariffs, but to enter into the American market? Make the products in America. Why make the products in America? Because it is to get it closer. And instead of, getting a product all the way from Germany or a product all the way from Japan or from South Korea, is to make it here just to, save costs and save anything like that. No, just to save shipping costs or whatever, just to get it closer to the customers. The customers, they buy the product here. Whatever it is this is what it is. And this is what happened. These economies of these southern states have been making more money thanks to the foreign corporations putting their car factories in southern states. Honda putting a car factory in Marysville, Ohio. Imagine that, Marysville, Ohio. Give me a break, man. And the aviation industry is shining in Mobile, Alabama. It's looking dim in Renton. Right? It's looking so dim in Renton right now. With bums trying to have a wage making killer planes. It is like saying, look, I hope that Ortberg begins giving the big ass middle finger to all the bums at Renton. Yes, all the bums at Renton don't deserve to work, right? I don't mind Asian folks. I don't mind, but no matter what color it is, but all the bums, all the freaking bums. In other words, IAM is still there, not knowing they're trying to protect white bums, yes, white bums, to work at Boeing, to go hammered at the factory, hammered doing, losing a bolt, a wing falling off of a plane of a 737. Or another tragedy if they keep open the damn factory. No. F you. That was putting the big F you. I hope they put the big F you and close the Renton factory for good. And move production to Springfield, Ohio. Why Springfield, Ohio, right? It is what it is. I want to just do this comparison of all this. Since Back to the Future were mentioned about products made in Japan. Yes, about products made in Japan. Right? That was Doc Brown. Look at this. No wonder this piece of junk has a big problem. It says made in Japan. Made in Japan? Well, you got to look at the Haitian workers doing the same quality job as a Japanese worker anyway. And that's the reasons why they come in this country. That's the reason they want to look for work. They are better trained. And I bet you this, okay? Marty McFly says the best stuff is made in Japan. And I could agree with right. I just try to agree, and this is about a comparison. This comparison is comparing, like all this, everybody else, I'm comparing all apples and oranges, but comparing Haitian workers with Japanese workers, I could agree. I see how they come here. They come here and work, and they're very hard workers. And people in Springfield, Ohio, they were very glad. I believe this in the same level. I'm gonna put Haitian workers will do the same quality job as a Japanese worker. And that's the truth. It hurts, but that's the truth. A Haitian worker could work the same quality job as a Japanese worker. No doubt about it. As a Japanese worker, all right? Because they also have contributed to freedom of this country. But Haitian workers could be the contribution to save Boeing in the rank of bankruptcy. They was worked as hard as Asian workers, not just Japanese workers, as Korean workers, as Chinese workers, because the Asian workers have the same culture. Focus only at the work, do the best quality as possible, and don't slack. A Haitian worker has the same quality of hard working mentality as an Asian worker. That's true. That has to be true. And this is what happened. What it is the only solution for Boeing, if this CEO, I hope that this CEO listens. Yes, I hope that I would say I want to make a video dedicated to Kelly Ortberg. But Kelly Ortberg, please do not bow down to the big corporations. I mean, to the corporate clowns, the big corporate executive clowns that tell you what to do. That's the thing. The thing is that the solution to all these problems is to put it this way. Put it away. I want Springfield, Ohio to turn Seattle, Washington. I want Springfield, Ohio to make Seattle, Washington surpass South Korea as the suicide capital of the world. Why is the best solution to fix Boeing's most dangerous safety problems? These flaws, putting the company down to keep the company up. The solution for Boeing is that let Springfield, Ohio turn Seattle, Washington to become the new, let Springfield, Ohio have Seattle, Washington take over South Korea's place as the suicide capital of the world is the only solution to save Boeing from bankruptcy. Why? Is that these workers could learn. They are smart. They will do the same thing. This is like saying technically the planes are going to be made in America. It is like the same thing is like saying moving Boeing to Germany, moving Boeing to make the whole plane in Japan. is get these workers from Haiti being trained. And I bet that what they want to do is to save Boeing's ass from bankruptcy. What they're doing right now is letting a Chinese competitor eat Boeing's lunch, is letting Japanese competitors come in and turn Boeing's fate into the same fate as a Dutch aircraft manufacturer. Boeing is going to the same route as a Dutch aircraft manufacturer, and let me tell you why. The bums wanted a raise. I don't care if they're black or white or yellow. They want a raise, a wage raise to get paid more. These guys don't deserve it. These guys needs to be fired. You know why they need to be fired? Because they're bums. Because they just come at work, they come hammered, they come drunk, and they don't focus on what they do. Right? And then if Ortberg were to have the balls, if he were to have the balls to not to bow down to these corporate executive people, to these executive corporate clowns, what would happen to Ortberg when you know who takes over? He is going to finally face the same situation as Carlos Ghosn. I mean, a solution in there is why did these airplanes in Springfield, Ohio are better built than in North Charleston, South Carolina, why they are better built than in Renton, Washington, and then now I would say this. If this gonna happen, okay? If this is gonna happen, they check out who's gonna be the Boeing's number one customer when they build up a airplane plant, a factory in Springfield, Ohio. I am even butting in for these Haitian-born nationals, Haitian Americans, even if they're born in Haiti. They're gonna have the biggest customer in buying most of their planes from Springfield, Ohio, is going to be China. So if this happens, China will buy more planes from the Springfield, Ohio Boeing factory than Renton. Buying more planes from Springfield, Ohio than New Charleston, South Carolina. Why? Because these workers would be working as hard as Asian workers, even having a different tone of color, or like let's say with Indians or something. And these Haitian nationals would do the best quality job to save Boeing in the brink of bankruptcy. These Haitian workers will also save the fate of Boeing to go to the same fate. They're going to prevent Boeing to get into the fate of a Dutch aircraft company named Fokker. They're going to save Boeing to become the next Fokker, thanks to the Haitian workers working at Boeing in Springfield, Ohio. And the Haitian workers at Boeing at Springfield, Ohio, are going to make more airplanes for the Chinese than for the Americans. Yes, the biggest exporter, surpassing Renton. But then after all, the 797 would be better off being built in Springfield, Ohio. And this is where it goes. I mean, maybe the headquarters would be in Seattle if he wants to move in Seattle. I mean, being closer to where it is to check all the quality control. I mean, after all of these things, I mean, to check this, to check the quality control of the product, is to fix things up. This is very hard. This is very hard and all this stuff. And what it is with all this stuff, what's happened with these politicians with the same, perverse values or thinking of this. All right, I mean, look at this. If you would stand up, some of you people, you need to stand up for what happened. This is visualize, put the mindset of the Jewish people of Germany. Yes, eating the cats and dogs. Yeah, like look at these Jewish people. They're eating cats and dogs. Yeah, Jewish people eating cats and dogs, or cats and dogs culture. Just view it like that. View it like this. View it. Oh, look at these. Whatever they do that for. I mean, this punk from one of the punk who was a world leader from Germany wasn't there. You're gonna step in the same shoes as Jewish people, all right? Even if you are Jewish yourself, just imagine, for some of you viewers, just think about it. Think about the name, Flying Coffin Expert. Flying Coffin Expert. I mean, somebody's gonna say this kind of stupidity. This is like this. You step in yourself in the shoes of a Jewish person, and this bozo and this punk who's gonna say that, running for VP, view him as he were to be Adolf Hitler. That's it. That's all you need to do. All right. So, as what it is with all this stuff, with all this, even the highway, the first highway was a Jewish invention. It was made by Jewish people. Yes, the Autobahn was made by Jewish people. All right, just remember that. And once and for all, you take all this a little bit with a grain of salt. You're going to look at these things. You're going to look what it is. And this, if Kelly Wartburg were to kissing in the ass of the executives, what's going to happen with Boeing, all it is going to tell you, you know what, you're going to do all this. You're going to fire these people. You're going to just say that you're going to use these type of workers, and you tell them it's their fault. Yes, they're going to use good workers that have to blame for that has nothing to do with Boeing flaws, and say that they are guilty. If that kind of thing happens, not having the balls to stand up, then I mean, just to avoid the jail time, to avoid all these things, that's just plain old ignorance. Just to say like this is like saying Hitler saying, "Oh, like look, blame all these crap on the Jewish people. Yeah, blame all this crap on these group of people," and then everybody's gonna get mad as hell, and then this is not it. This ain't right. I mean, like Jesse Jackson will be roasting Boeing left and right. Yes, left and right. Because of that, right? But what's going to happen? I mean, if this was the case to, replacing Ortberg, replacing Kelly Ortberg with Carlos Ghosn as CEO. I remember how Carlos Ghosn will do this work for Boeing. Carlos Ghosn, what will do with Boeing, instead of moving to the headquarters, he will just have all this, doing the negotiations with the IAM, with the union, set up a factory in Springfield, Ohio, see what is going on with the immigrants, giving the job to these legal immigrants. They're legal immigrants, by the way. These Haitian immigrants coming to Springfield, Ohio, came legally. I don't know how, but they came legally. They came to work, and they came to just provide something for America. Just to say all this, that he's going. This is what Carlos Ghosn will do. He will do this. The negotiations of the quality craftsmanship. He's going to check out all the work done at Renton. He's going to check out all the work done in South Carolina with the 787. The only difference with this is that the place where the 787 is built, there's no union, and then he would be easy off, firing people that do these work and then rehire people that do the quality inspections and everything like that. And all what it is, what is going on, what Ghosn will do, what Ghosn is do to, if he were to be Ortberg were to be replaced by Carlos Ghosn, it would be like having the factory dealings with quality control, see if there's any issues, having the factory open up a factory in Springfield, Ohio, and set up to where the Boeing headquarters is going to move. Where the Boeing headquarters is going to move is going to be this. What it's going to do is to have in the middle spot, Seattle for or like that, quality control, expertise, and whatever it is. Boom, here we go. Quality control. Was the advisory to it is that if Renton were to have poor quality control in the Renton plant, so what he's going to do is the strike is going to be again another strike. They're going to put Carlos Ghosn with, painting him like the devil and all that stuff. Like he's the Antichrist. He's like, Carlos Ghosn is the devil. Carlos Ghosn is the devil. Saying the truth. Yes, saying the truth to the workers right directly in their face. Boom. Right there. What language would Carlos Ghosn would use for the Springfield plant? He's gonna talk a bit of English, the language he will use, even though he lived in France, working along with being the CEO of Renault and all that stuff. He's going to speak with the Springfield, Ohio Boeing workers in the French language. Haiti, they speak the Haitian Creole. They have somebody with Haitian Creole. They're going to have somebody. The Haitians also understand French. He's going to have all these instructions in French to make the Boeing planes. So that would be something of what it is with quality issues. Some person would advise Carlos Ghosn with quality issues or problems happen with a 737. Problems happen with a plane. And then this is just what is going to be built. He's going to be built the last Boeing 737 MAX at Renton. When you know who becomes president, yes, 45, man, 45, right? Yes, I will mention 45, man. 45. Right? The guy named after a duck character from Disney. That's right. As president. Yes, a guy named after a duck character from Disney. Knew about this last Renton built plane. Last Renton built plane crashes somewhere in the world. I mean, Carlos Ghosn knew about this. He was having the CEO of Boeing and all that stuff. You know, as the Springfield plant are making a lot of planes for the Chinese, trying to just have Comac as, you know, not to buy that much of Comac, buy a lot of Comac planes, but also supporting Boeing also by buying more planes. You know, Springfield exporting a lot of airplanes for the Chinese market. Yes, the biggest exporter to the Chinese would be Springfield, Ohio for Boeing, because the quality would be so great that I have to just explain of all this. Explain of all this, how it's gonna go. How it's going to go and how it's gonna go there is going from this. From saying that that he's going to talk the truth, Carlos Ghosn being CEO of Boeing. Being CEO of Boeing. What's going to happen if this guy, you know who becomes president, what he's going to say is this. He's going to say that Springfield, Ohio is making killer planes, and this guy, Carlos, is the real criminal killing millions of people with planes that are unsafe to fly. Just because one plane that is not built in Springfield, Ohio crashes. Right? But I know what you know. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Even Rebecca Ozark to watch this, if you're watching this. What's going on with this, before this happens, Carlos Ghosn, as CEO of Boeing, instead of moving the headquarters close to where they make the planes, instead of moving to Seattle, Washington, he would move the Boeing main headquarters to Columbus, Ohio. That's what is the move. That is closer. That is closer because Springfield is doing a better job than Renton. And by closing the Renton plant, he's doing the same thing. Regardless of making Seattle, Washington to having Seattle, Washington replacing South Korea as the suicide capital of the world is not because this is bad. It's bad in one way, but it's a good thing for Boeing because he is saving the company from bankruptcy by making a better product in Springfield, Ohio. And then where the 787 is, they just want to fire some people and then bring some Asian and Haitian workers and probably even have some workers from Asia making the 787. Could be Chinese, could be from North Korea if they have some plan of the Peter Pan 2, and improve the quality of planes made in South Carolina also, if that would be have the chance, right? So this is what's going to happen if you know who becomes president, and if a 737 Max that is not built in Springfield, Ohio crashes somewhere in the world. He would ask in this. He will say something about the Haitian workers. He'll say that the Haitian workers working at Springfield are as efficient as a Japanese worker because he said that he worked at Nissan in Japan, and he saw that type of quality work by the Japanese, that he says that the quality work of the Haitians is the same quality work as the Japanese. And that's what he's going to say. But then after he said it's all a lie, that the plane that crashed, I mean, I think the last plane that's going to crash is going to be from Southwest Airlines, a 737 Max, the last one to be built in Renton, Washington, after they closed the factory. Is the last one. That last plane incident crashing, you know who, named after a duck character from Disney, say, look, this plane was built in Springfield, Ohio by workers who are not qualified to make those planes. And what will happen, Carlos? He'll be extradited to Japan. He's gonna go to jail in Japan. They're gonna arrest him. They're gonna get him everything and all that. They're gonna replace the CEO. They're gonna move the headquarters probably back to Washington, or back to Seattle, or probably, I don't know how it is, but it's going to be just like when going to firing the workers at Springfield, government forcing to close the Springfield, Ohio plant, and then begin to blame it on the alcoholic pilots, on the drunk pilots flying those planes that they were drinking at the cockpit. That's what happened if this person, who is named after a duck character from Disney, will say. That's it. And this is the reason why, by having somebody who could lead the country, but not leading the country when they're just talking trash about Mexicans. After talking trash about Mexicans, talking trash about eating cats and dogs, and then after all, that extradite a CEO who escaped from Lebanon, taking over Boeing, to come in this country and to be extradite him to Japan, to go to jail to Japan just because of the last Renton built airplane crashes somewhere in the world, and then they blame it on Springfield, Ohio because of the workers. It's kind of ridiculous. This is kind of ridiculous, and that's the freaking reason why. And that's the reason why, because of this. The reason why, a corporation functioning like Nazi Germany, it is like this. The black workers are like the Jewish people, and the people in the top acting like Adolf Hitler. They're saying, no, look at, blame it on the Jewish people. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, Boeing is Nazi Germany. The black workers are the Jewish people. And that's how it's functioning. And then I hope Ortberg doesn't bow down to these punks and follow what the same stupidity of what people in Nazi Germany has done. And the same thing is, okay, like it's the same thing happening. They were saying there's even people that would be whistleblowing the German government from back in the day. There were the Joshua Deans and John Barnett's of World War II. And Boeing in World War II is Nazi Germany from that in that era. It was Nazi Germany. But now the tables has turned. Boeing become like Nazi Germany. John Barnett and Joshua Dean were like the whistleblowers attacking Nazi Germany, saying, okay, I'm in there protecting the Jewish people. They look at how they doing against the Jewish people, and then but the modern day era, instead of Jewish people, is going to be on black people. That's it. That's the reason why they kill John Barnett and Joshua Dean. They were murdered, poisoned. Somebody poisoned. They gave him fentanyl in the hospital on Joshua Dean. They say in the news, "Oh, this is fake news." It is fake news. I mean, the suicide thing that that John Barnett committed suicide. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. Why? Because John Barnett also said the hidden truth that black people were fired at Boeing, and that's how it goes. That's how it had ran. So the comment here is, you could write me a comment. I'm saying you this because there are so many dirty secrets behind the company that make aviation, and the reason why there are strikes, bums wanting to be their money to get raised. Why? To make garbage products so they could put people on risk, putting flying death traps. That's all. Subscribe to the Embargo Man channel. I will give you another notice of how it's gonna be an interesting topic. I know I have putting those two clashes around, and I hope one day to see I hope that Kelly Ortberg give out the middle finger to the lazy bums in Renton, Washington, and that to improve the quality of Boeing products is to move production to Springfield, Ohio. Hit the bell button, please subscribe, and see you in the next video.